In order to solve public speaking fear, you have to first understand what public speaking fear is really about. What public speaking fear is really about may surprise you, and also what it's not about may surprise you. Hi, I'm Sandra Zimmer. What we call fear of public speaking is not really about speaking. What it's about is not being comfortable being who you are at the center of attention. People with fear of public speaking simply have not learned to be comfortable being who they are in front of groups. Typically, one-on-one, they're great. However, once it becomes a group, they don't feel safe being who they are. Suddenly, they feel incapable of speaking, and they often think that they're just not good at public speaking. I believe the real fear is not of speaking, but of showing who they really are to a group. And that means showing their true thoughts and real feelings. Underneath this fear is a belief that who they are is not perfect and so just not good enough. Every day, I coach professionals who tell me that they're not good at public speaking. But often in 1 or 2 hours, I prove to them that they actually are pretty good at speaking. And I do that by teaching them to relax deeply into their physical bodies through an exercise that allows them to feel grounded in their bodies. Grounding creates a sense of comfort, confidence, and being present, all of which allows speech to flow much more freely. Recently, I met with a young woman, I'll call her April, who works for a mortgage company. April is a skilled loan officer. She understands how to guide investors through complex lending processes to help them succeed. She's one of those people that I mentioned before who can just open their mouth and let ideas flow out effortlessly when someone asks for help. But yet, when her company leader asks her to speak to groups of property investors about their company, she goes into overwhelm and she completely freezes. In our session, I turned on an iPhone video camera and lights, and I asked April to speak to me for 1 minute about her company. She couldn't get through 30 seconds before she froze up and stopped speaking. So I sat her down and guided her through a 10-12 minute grounding exercise, and afterwards I asked her to stand up again and speak. She just popped up, stepped in front of the camera saying, "This feels totally different." She spoke for almost 2 minutes, finding interesting new points to make and able to think through her points and find ways to clarify her points. And when she stopped speaking, she was ecstatic about what she just did. She said, "I felt so free. I could think and take my time. And I was so comfortable in my body. It was amazing." So, solving the problem of public speaking fear requires a special approach to public speaking training that hasn't yet been incorporated into most public speaking courses. Most speech teachers are teaching how to organize thoughts and how to deliver a talk, a speech, or a presentation. And while those are very valuable skills, they're not the solution to public speaking fear. The solution is learning to be comfortable being who you are at the center of attention. Only then will public speaking training work for people who have serious public speaking fears. But once they're relaxed, they're comfortable in their skin, they're self-accepting, and they're present, they can learn the skills to think their thoughts and say what they're thinking. And then they find that speaking to groups gets much freer. And at that point, it's pretty easy for them to put together some ideas, and their speech will flow as easily as it does when they talk one-on-one. For a little over 30 years, I've been facilitating groups of people who have serious stage fright and fear of public speaking. My Sandra Zimmer method guides professionals through a set of steps that allows them to be comfortable being who they are in front of others. And as a result, they connect to their natural abilities to express themselves authentically in front of groups. So they speak as freely and fluidly as they do one-on-one. I've trained thousands of people to develop a style of speaking that's authentic for each person. And what surprises almost everyone who participates is how easy speaking becomes. And that's because they already know how to speak. They just needed to release the tension of being the center of attention. So if you're intrigued, visit my website and reach out. Let's talk and see if my approach is right for you. Thanks for watching.